Let's talk a little bit today about multiplying integers. You're looking at, by the way, this is a picture of Sequoia National Park. Just thought it was a little interesting, but we'll need some white space to jump into the meat of this stuff. So multiplying integers. It's easy to understand why 3 times 2 is equal to positive 6. 3 times 2 is another way of saying 2 plus 2 plus 2. In other words, multiplication's like repeated addition, and of course that's 6. So then, if we extend that logic, if we take 3 times negative 2, that means negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2. Adding negatives to negatives makes our answer more negative, which is why negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4, plus negative 2 is equal to negative 6. So we can see why a positive times a negative gives us a negative. But what about when we want to do something like negative 3 times negative 2? Here our sort of intuition breaks down because it doesn't make sense to add negative 2 negative 3 times. The opposite of 3 times. What exactly does that mean? So to better understand this, we can appeal to looking at patterns. Let's consider this table for a second. 4 times negative 2 we know is negative 8. We just did 3 times negative 2, negative 6. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. Then, if we do 0 times negative 2, that should be straightforward enough. That's just going to be 0. We can start to think about where our pattern is going. Each time this number that we were multiplying by went down by 1, look what happened to the product. It's actually going up by 2. It's becoming less negative till it gets to 0. So this is going down by 1 each time. This goes up by 2 each time. So going from 0 to negative 1 is down 1. If we go from 0 and we go up 2, as we've been doing in the previous ones, we can see what the answer would be. Yes, according to this pattern, the answer is 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 would be positive 4. And if we continue in this fashion, negative 3 times negative 2 is going to be equal to 6. So when we had a positive and a positive, that gave us a positive result. But when one of them was negative, so positive times negative, or negative times positive, that's going to result in a negative. And a negative times a negative gives us a positive. Put differently, when our signs are the same, we get a positive, so positive and positive gives positive, negative and negative gives positive, but if they're different, we're going to get the negative.